Hey guys, it's Jeff from Fresh Your Luck, and boy, oh boy, do I have a treat for you. Or for anybody who loves one of the most popular Mexican snacks known as churros. Yes, churros. You'll find them in a wonderful array of places, be it the New York City subway station, or a stroll in the park, or Costco, or of course, Disney. You'll find them galore, but I said to myself, how would it be instead of, doing the twisty stick and, rolling the dough and then you have to deep fry it. I do love to deep fry, by the way. But not everybody wants to go through those lengths, right? How about we just make it a cake? How about we make a churro cake? A cake that is very reminiscent of a churro, but is super moist and fluffy and out of this world delicious, loaded with sugar, by the way, loaded with it, because that's what a churro is all about. And I'm telling you right now, this cake of a churro can be made by a burro. It's that simple. So let's get cracking and go and make the most amazing churro cake ever. Let's do it. Before anything else, let's preheat our oven to 350 degrees. So the first thing I want to do, just to get this out of the way, because this is literally the most prep that's involved, is to take a lemon, or you can actually take an orange. Either is fine. And then I want to take a microplane. See, it says microplane. This is the easiest thing to use here. And then zest it. And to do that, it's like you take this thing and play it like it's the violin. And you just grate the zest. You see that? It's coming right up. The skin. The skin, as it shreds, is what you call the lemon zest. And then I'm just going to empty it into this little ramekin here. A microplane is gonna zest the best, all right? Just know that. Now we're gonna take 4 large eggs and we're gonna crack them into a mixing bowl. Be gentle when you crack them in. It doesn't matter if the yolks break, because now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a whisk and we're gonna whisk these eggs up. Yes, we're gonna beat them into oblivion. Do this for about 30 to 45 seconds and really get in there and give it a nice mixing. Alright, and once our eggs are nice and beaten and they get a little bit like frothy and bubbly, we're good, about 30 seconds. Next up, I'm going to add in 1 cup of white sugar, granulated sugar, and 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And we're going to whisk that into our eggs. Make sure it gets nice and blended up. About another 30 seconds. You're going to get a good workout here. This is good. You're pre-exercising here before you indulge. Don't feel so guilty later. And then to our batter, we're going to add our final ingredients, and that's going to be 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You don't have to sift it. 1 tablespoon of baking powder, not to be confused with baking soda. They're different things. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. 3/4 cup or a 6-ounce container of plain yogurt. You can use low-fat. Don't use Greek yogurt for this, though. Use like a plain yogurt, not flavored. 2/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil. Yes, we're using olive oil in this cake. Don't worry, it's not going to taste like olive oil. It's not going to have that dominant flavor, but it's going to be amazing. Trust me on this. And of course, we zested that lemon, so let's add that to the mix. And now we're going to take a spatula and then just mix all of that up until everything is nice and combined. We're just going to mix this up for about a minute, and I'm using a silicone spatula to do this, and I'm telling you, the extra virgin olive oil is where it's at here. Use that over vegetable or canola oil for this, just trust me. And once you see it's like a nice, smooth consistency, like a lovely batter, it's perfect. We're good. One more thing we're going to do here before we transfer this batter into a baking dish, or baking tin in my case. We're going to want to make a topping that we're going to put on the batter, and that's going to consist of, yeah, I know this seems insane, another cup of great sugar, well, white sugar, it is great, granulated sugar, and another tablespoon of cinnamon. And we'll just take a fork and we're just gonna mix everything together. And there we have it, cinnamon sugar. Perfect. Okay, now it's time to assemble it, which is the easiest thing ever. I'm gonna use a 13x9 baking tin here. It's a cake tin I got in the market. You can use a 13x9 baking tray, whatever you have, as long as it, has a nice lip here to keep everything in, that's fine. Spray it with some non-stick cooking spray on the sides, on the bottom. And then we're gonna add our batter directly into it. Perfect. And the last thing I wanna do, and I know, again, you saw it before, is to add that amazing cinnamon sugar mixture. And I literally just wanna sprinkle the entire thing right on top. And voila! That's the cake as it is right now, well, unbaked. It's now time to transfer it into the oven. Now that the oven's preheated to 350, I'm gonna take my cake, I'm not gonna cover it, and I'm gonna place it on the center rack and bake it for about 25 minutes, okay? All ovens are gonna vary, so we're gonna check on it in 25 minutes. Okay, and 25 minutes have passed, so I'm going to go into my oven now, and I'm gonna pull out my cake. I'm gonna put it right on my counter to rest. And the first thing I wanna do is I wanna make sure that my cake is indeed cooked. So to do that, I wanna take a knife and go in the middle. It should come up so there's nothing on it, no batter. If it's still wet, this is a little wet, I'm gonna pop it back in there. Okay, and after 45 minutes of baking our cake, we're gonna take it out of the oven. And you see I did some checking on it before by sticking a knife in there. And basically what you wanna do is when you press your knife inside, you wanna make sure it comes up dry. And when it does and there's no wet batter on there, we're ready to go. Let the cake rest for 10 minutes. And then we'll cut into it and serve it up. Okay, and here's my cake, so I'm gonna give it a moment of truth here and cut into it. I normally would cut from the end, but I want to make sure everything looks great, and it should. It's cutting super nicely. And I'm going to get in there with a fork and put it on a plate. And look at this cake. Look at how perfect, wait, let me get it in the camera. Look at how perfect that looks. Beautiful, moist, delicious. And you have that extra sugar. There's a crust that formed there. It is perfect. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, and here it is, my churro cake. And I'm gonna go in there and just go to town. Here we go. It tastes like a churro, except it's a cake, and it's not deep fried. Oh my gosh. It is so good. It is so moist. This cake is gonna go so good with coffee. I mean, I feel like Linda Richmond. I'm getting off verklempt. Talk amongst yourselves. I gotta be careful with this because it's so easy to eat the entire thing. Seriously, the crust on the top. So good and so easy. This is gonna be like my go-to cake now whenever I go to a potluck, which is exactly what I'm bringing this to. And I cannot wait to share it with everybody. I mean, I did cut a big piece out of the center, but they don't have to know about that, who cares? I'm telling them I had to taste test it before I dropped it off to make sure that it's delicious for you all. They'll understand. Sure. By the way, all my recipes are really easy. I'm known for doing Instant Pot recipes. It's kind of how I broke into the whole cooking field here. It was kind of by accident. I was just starting this as a passion project. So as a result of it, I've written four cookbooks for the Instant Pot, which I now call the Rainbow Collection. We have the Orange Book, which is the original. It was the top-selling cookbook of 2020, the year of the pandemic, by a debut cookbook author. I gotta say it, right? It's marketing purposes. The blue one, which is lighter recipes, you wouldn't find this recipe in that book. The yellow one, which is comfort food, that's more along the lines of this. Or Super Shortcut Instant Pot, which is all delicious, and the name doesn't lie. It's the quickest recipes with 10 ingredients or less. Thank you so much again for watching, my friends. And the next time you're craving a churro, but you'd rather have a little bit of a bake, well, look no further than making this delicious churro cake. Enjoy. Give me a bigger piece. That's what I'm talking about.